I think reminding him of this knowledge kind of also woke him up to realize, okay, I need to get my act together again.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Montgomery Heart Wellness. And we have another clinical rounds at MHW for you. Today, we're going to talk about a gentleman who's been in our practice for some time. He's in his early 70s, a number of chronic illnesses, including heart disease and diabetes. He came back to us for a recharge. He'd struggled with the program over the years, and he was in with some issues. So, Camille, what can you share?
He had came in and was having just more fatigue, some more tingling, I think related to his elevated blood sugar. And he just knew he wasn't feeling as good as he'd felt before with us. And his blood work reflected that because his A1c had gone all the way up to 9.4. So that was pretty uncontrolled.
Wow,
And
that's very high. So he has a history of coronary bypass surgery, is that correct?
correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
2 of his grafts were occluded. And I think reminding him of this knowledge kind of also woke him up to realize, okay, I need to get my act together again. I don't want these other grafts getting occluded. And I kind of emphasize, the medications you've been on, those standard medications, did not prevent these grafts from getting occluded. And we see that all the time, people getting surgical intervention and then down 5-10 years later they are at that point you either need surgery again or you need a dramatic lifestyle change.
So here's someone who's been exposed to our programs that had some success and kind of went back and forth. And I think what I want to do is emphasize lifestyle change is not just something that's, you just sort of flip a switch and it happens. Lifestyle change is a dedication, and just throw that phrase around very loosely. We oftentimes don't think about how invasive that can be. When you change your lifestyle, it not only affects you, it affects the people around you. It affects, the things you do. The eating part is really important, and the exercise part is important. And so if you're someone who travels a lot, you're very social, it's going to have a major impact on how you interact with other people. But what I'd like to do is emphasize to people that regardless of what the challenges are, they're worth it, because if you don't make these lifestyle changes on your term, your life is going to change, and the style of your life will change on the terms of a chronic illness. Because we see lots of people who are chronically ill, and these diseases, they're progressive and they're invasive. So you get to the point where you're taking a lot of medications, you have a lot of doctor's visits, then they turn into hospitalizations, they turn into more surgeries, disabilities, maybe a stroke here, heart attack there, an amputation here, dialysis there. And the next thing you know, your lifestyle becomes surrounded by sickness. And so it becomes a sick style. But the point is that oftentimes people say, well, it's just too hard to change my lifestyle. And I think that might have been some of his struggles. But you just have to keep at it. And one thing I'll commend him is that he was coming back, going at it again. So if you fail, come back. And that's, I think, the lesson that will be learned here. So what happened? So the A1c was 9.4. My goodness.
So yeah, he did whole food plant-based levels 0 to 6, so he still had cooked plant foods, but he would only eat between 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. because that's the time that just suited his lifestyle the best. In 3 months, his A1c went down to 6.6. A big thing that I think really helped was that he stopped eating cheese, because that was his little guilty pleasure. And, that definitely would worsen insulin sensitivity if you ate a lot of high-fat dairy products. So giving that up, I think, just really made a huge improvement.
Why do you think people get addicted to cheese?
Oh, I I mean, I think it's pretty easy to get
Yeah,
addicted
yeah.
to that.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because cheese, I hadn't had cheese in more than 20 years, but my recollection is that it smells like dirty socks and tastes pretty much close to the same. It's like amazing how people want to eat it. But I remember in reading some articles how the cheese and the dairy products are converted. The casein protein is converted to caseomorphine. And so it has like a morphine effect on the brain. What's your outlook for this patient? What's going to be the plan of care over time? How are you going to help him stay on track?
Well, I meet with him regularly to remind him of his improvement, and I think just encouraging him to realize how much better he's feeling, and kind of going back to what you're saying, we can choose if we want a lifestyle of wellness or a lifestyle of sickness. And we kind of, in society, it's normal as we age to think you're going to get a lot of health issues. But that's not what we were put on earth for, is to be sick, right? Now I think this refresher for him kind of reminded him of all the potential better ways he can be living his life, and you can just tell talking with him that he's more committed to continue with this journey now.
Wow. That's good. That's good. And sometimes it takes the third or fourth time. I mean, you never know what's going to trigger you to stay on the right path. And so this is wonderful. Another from 9.4 A1c to 6.6 in just 3 months. No change in medications.
Correct.
Amazing. All right, there you have it. Thank you very much. And I want to encourage you, if you have any questions about anything we say, please leave it in the chat. We'll certainly try to get to those questions and address them as fast as we can. So until next time, take care.